When I ask people, what's the biggest barrier for eating healthy? Often the answer I get is figuring out what to eat. Hi, I'm Kate Tryon, and today I'm going to give you some simple tips to figure out what to eat. Let's learn how to plan some meals so you can meet your health goals. First, let's talk about what are some benefits of even meal planning. Well, first of all, it's the opportunity to eat how you would like to eat. Are you trying to incorporate certain foods into your diet? Are you trying to follow a certain dietary pattern? Well, planning out what you eat is the best way to be successful at that. Next, it's also very much less stressful during the week. When you know what you're going to eat, it's already there. It's one less thing to think about after a busy, hectic day. And finally, the best one for me, it can save you a lot of money. You're not wasting as much food. Maybe you're not eating out as much. Planning what you want to eat will actually save you money in the long run. So let's get started. What's the first thing we need to do? Well, the first part actually takes the longest, but you really should only have to do it every once in a while. And that is gather the recipes that you like to make, find your favorites, figure out what those things are, and build yourself your own database of your recipes you like to eat. That takes a little bit of time, but with that planning, then you have an arsenal of things to choose from. A couple of tips on gathering your recipes. Develop a system to save them. Some people like to use online recipes. Make folders or files or use certain apps to keep those in so you have a place to go to so you're not constantly searching where are all the recipes I like. If they're in family favorite cookbooks or other books you like, bookmark your pages or even make a list of things that you like out of that book and put it in the front. And use multiple sources. Recipes come from all over the place. Many things are on the internet now, but grandma's favorite salad recipe might be handwritten by her. Just know where to look when you're looking for your recipes, and that will save you a lot of time. All right, once you've done that hard step of really gathering what you like, next, you need to do an ingredient inventory. So whenever you decide to sit down and plan your meals, you need to look to see what you have on hand. What is going to go bad soon that you really want to use up? What do you already have that you could build a recipe off of? That way you're not buying things that you already have and wasting your money having multiple items. And also you're using things that you have, so you're not letting food spoil and wasting that kind of money. So start by looking in there. What do you have? Build some menus off of that. And the next thing you need to do to be successful at meal planning, look at your calendar. What do you have going on during this time period that you want to schedule your meals for? Do you have things after work that you're not going to be home on time? Maybe you have a really easy day and you have time to cook and prepare a few things in ahead. Really kind of look to see what's going on in your week so you can be reasonable about what meals that you can prepare. Okay, now here comes the hard part, picking out what you want to eat. Again, be realistic. What do you have time for? What are you actually going to eat? And being realistic also means don't pick out 5 new recipes you've never made before to try this week. Pick out some tried and true easy things that you know that you like. So when you have come to that day, you know just what you want to eat. And also enlist help. Ask the people that you live with, what do they want to eat? What are they willing to cook this week? Don't feel like you have to do it all yourself. Get input from other people, and that way they'll be a little bit more satisfied too. And if they have something they like to eat, they're more likely to help you out in the long run. Also, if you're really struggling to kind of decide what to eat, some people have theme nights. Taco Tuesday is a real favorite, or Meatless Monday. Maybe it's soup every Thursday. Sometimes scheduling those types of theme nights just helps you figure out what to eat on a weekly basis. And as always, you need to write it down. Write down your plan. So you have, don't just keep it up in your head because no one can help you if it's in your head. Write it down so you can just refer to it and don't have to constantly think, oh, what was I going to make for dinner on Thursday? It's written down, then you know. And then take that written piece of paper and post it. That way you see it. That way the rest of your household sees it. So if you maybe are running late from getting home from work, you can say, hey, can you please start this? This is what's on the menu for today. And then other people know what's happening. So you've picked out some meals. You know what you want to make for the time period. Now you need to make your shopping list. Okay, you know what you're going to make. What are the ingredients that you need? Look to see what you already have. Maybe you already have rice in the cupboard for the dish you want to make, and then write down what you need and organize your shopping list. So put things together that you would find together in their grocery store. So all the produce together, all the frozen items together, all of the pantry staples together. And that way, when you're at the grocery store, you have a little bit more of a focused list and you're not wasting time going back and forth in the aisles. A lot of people do not like to grocery shop because they don't know where things are at. They don't know what they want, so they just wander around the store. Having a really good, concise grocery list will help you enjoy grocery shopping a little more, or maybe just not hate it quite so much. All right, so you have your plan, you have your list. All right, now it's time to organize and prepare. You've gotten home from the store. If you have some extra time, take some time to put the recipe ingredients together. So if you have 2 or 3 ingredients in the refrigerator that go with a recipe for Monday, put those together so you know what those are for. So when it's time to cook, you can just grab those. Same with pantry kind of ingredients. If you have time, what's really helpful is to cut and clean some of your produce. If your produce is ready to eat, you're more likely to eat it. How often do you see the bag of carrots in the refrigerator and you're like, oh, it'd be nice to have a carrot, but I don't want to clean them and cut them. I'm just going to get the chips instead. I can just eat those right away. Well, if you've taken a few minutes to make that produce available and you can just grab it and eat it, you're more likely to use it. And if you have some time, look ahead on your list. What do you need to thaw out for the week? If you're like me and you have a freezer that might have some extra ground beef or maybe some chicken breasts, if I know I need that week, I can stick it in the refrigerator and let it safely thaw for when I need it in a few days. Taking this extra time to kind of organize and prepare for the week really will help you out during the time when it's time to cook. All right, a few tips for success. So use a planner. It can be in your phone, it can be a paper planner. What's really helpful is you write out what you want to eat during the week, and then you can kind of reference back maybe in a month or so when you're looking at, oh, what should I eat this week? Hey, we had that a month ago and we really liked that. That worked. Or that didn't work out for me this time. That's not a keeper of a recipe. So kind of use a plan and then you can tweak it to see what really helps and what really helps in the long term. Next, save some money. Okay, so I told you at the beginning that making a meal plan can help save you some money. Well, how are we going to do that? So when you're making your list for the week, look at the grocery store ads. They're either online or sometimes we still get them in the paper and in the mail. What's on sale that week that you can maybe base some things around? I often will do that with certain cuts of meat will go on sale. So if you eat meat, oftentimes that's a real expensive ingredient. Well, is chicken breast on sale this week? Okay, well then I'm going to have chicken breast and maybe I'll grab a few extra and put in my freezer. That if you have time to do that, that's one great way to save some money. Another way to save money, plan to use olive ingredient. Lots of times a recipe might just call for a half a cup of this or maybe half of a bell pepper. Well, what do we do with the other half? If you've made a plan, you know what to do with the other half. That's especially helpful if you're cooking for just 1 or 2 and you often have a lot of an ingredient left and you feel like that's just a waste. Plan for some of those extra ingredients. And then also plan for leftovers. So if you've made some meals throughout the week, it's okay to have a leftover night or use the leftovers for lunch. That's going to save you money because you're eating the food that you've already cooked and prepared. And it's going to save you some time and stress. And the last tip I have for you is do what's effective for you. Lots of times people think when we meal plan, we have to meal plan for 7 dinners in a row, and that just seems overwhelming, or we have to plan the entire week of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's not the case. Making a plan is what's going to help you. Maybe it's only a plan for 2 or 3 days because you drive past the grocery store every day. So it's really not inconvenient for you to stop there, and it's okay to do that for every 2 or 3 days. Maybe you like to shop at a few different grocery stores. So you plan for a couple of different things, knowing I'm going to this store today and they have, this is what I like at that store. So that's what I'll eat for these few days. So there's different ways to meal plan. It doesn't always have to be dinner. Maybe you're meal planning what you're going to eat for breakfast and lunch. And that's quite all right too. The point of a meal plan is that helps you get the nutrition that you want and need, and that it takes some stress off the eating. We all need to eat every day. Let's make it more effective and less stressful for us to do. Hopefully you found some of these things helpful. Making a meal plan does not have to be super stressful. It just takes a little bit of time and it's going to save you a lot of energy later in the week. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Thanks so much.